Hey there, welcome back. So about a year ago, I read The Eye of the World. Generally, I enjoyed it. The characters were okay, the plot was fine. I just didn't really get swept up in the series yet. I did like it enough to pick up the next two books, and I brought them with me when I moved. So I do plan to continue in the series. I basically just didn't get really attached to any of the characters yet, but over like 14 books, I'm sure that they will become more fleshed out. I'll grow connected to them and their relationships. I know that from what everyone has told me. I was a bit confused with the magic system, a little underwhelmed with how the magic system was presented in that first book. And again, the plot was very straightforward, but for me, that worked perfectly. I probably would have just given it a 3-star, but I'm a sucker for like a journey in a fantasy series where the goal is just get from point A to point B and experience the world along the way. The Eye of the World and the Wheel of Time series, such a rich culture. There's a history to every town. I cannot stress how much I love the world building in that first book. So because of that, I gave it a 4-star with the intention of continuing. And then I got swept up in other series. But now I watch the first 3 episodes of the Amazon Wheel of Time TV show. Now, I'll be the first to admit that the first episode is clunky. Dialogue's abrupt, the scenes are really short and choppy, and it's just like move. The pacing is just terrible in that first episode. They're trying to introduce you to the characters, get the plot moving, and the symbolism just is not subtle in what they're doing. However, the cast is just perfect, and while the entire book I still hadn't really got attached to the characters, by episode 2, I loved these characters. The relationships between them, I cannot stress how quickly I came to love them. They are the perfect representation of what I know these characters become and how much other book lovers have loved them. In the TV series, between my favorites being Matt, who in the book series was just annoying in that first book. I know he becomes a fan favorite over time, but by the end of episode 1, honestly, and definitely by episode 2, I loved Matt. Moiraine, by the beginning of episode 2, when you see how far she's come, or how far she's willing to go in her mission, yeah, no, I love Moiraine. The relationships between Matt and Perrin and Rand, little things. Just the small moments you're given to see why they're friends, or that they are friends at least. Yes, no, I loved that. And then there's Nynaeve, our sweet, loving healer and wisdom who will pull a knife on you and stab you with the intent to kill to protect her friends. Yes, these characters were fantastic. I was hooked for them alone. So if you're interested in just a fantasy series with amazing characters, a fantastic world, and an enjoyable plot, yes, I highly recommend continuing the Amazon's TV series. Just don't let episode 1 impact your viewing too much. They're really just trying to get the plot moving. Okay, now spoiler talk. I'm going to go into a couple specifics of what happened in the Amazon series. However, I don't really feel like it's big plot moment spoilers. No, one plot spoiler. Like I said, the friendships, my favorite being just the little moments where Perrin and Rand give Matt money to buy lanterns for his sister for is it Winter's Fest? Yeah. Just a moment like that. Or Matt's giving Perrin the knife that his wife had made for him and just offering him comfort. Yes, a change from the book. Perrin now has a wife. So as soon as she was introduced, obviously I know that they're just introducing her to be killed in front of him, add angst. So I guess you have a reason for this character to be a little stoic and internalize his feelings or something like that. So I was ready to be very upset that this character was introduced, not given a personality, barely any lines, just to be killed. And of course, she is killed, but not just in front of him. She is killed by him. He's fighting a Trolloc. swings around, the axe gets her in the sides, opens up her stomach, she's bleeding out, it is brutal. And it happens immediately after he went into like a rage to get in strength to kill this Trolloc, as if saying like the power that he has or will grow to have. The symbolism is not subtle in these first couple episodes. That rage gives him power, but he can use it to hurt the people he cares about. And then you had that dream with the wolf eating her, and like again, power, but can hurt the ones that he loves. So I dislike that this was done, but I don't hate it for his character. I hate that like fridging characters has been used so much in the media in the past that I now have to add this to a list of examples. But I do think it sets up the character journey he's going to go on nicely. I do think it had purpose. It wasn't done needlessly, just a throwaway to get angst. I do think it was a genuine character building moment. I mean, did it have to be his wife? Couldn't it have been an apprentice or an innocent bystander or just a friend? Yeah, it could have been. I guess it's the wife thing that's the issue, because then you really go into that fridging trope. But I wish I was angry about it, but I'm not. I do think it was good for his character, or how they're going to set things up along the line. Two things I'm genuinely angry about in that this first 3 episodes did. Okay, that cold opening was trash. I hated it. Could have been scrapped. You know what opening would have been fantastic? The prologue to The Eye of the World. I feel cheated that we didn't get that. It's been a year since I read The Eye of the World, and that prologue has still stuck with me. I loved it. I had no idea what was going on. I was confused, and it was great. I still don't think I completely understand it. I'm probably going to have to reread it, because now that's what I want. I did like the dream sequences that continue throughout the book, but I missed that prologue, Dragonmount. I want to see it on screen. The second thing I didn't overly like was much smaller in comparison. The introduction and the history of, what's the name of it? Manetheren? Yeah, its history and just when it was brought up in the book, I liked a lot more than how it was brought up in the TV show, by a lot. But that's a smaller complaint. So just final wrap-up, Shagor Logoth was fantastic. I love the characters. None of the Trollocs talked. I am very, very excited to continue both the book series and the TV series. And I'm completely fine with how they've been streamlining, words are hard, streamlining the plot to get things moving and how things have been changed. I'm A-okay with it. These actors and characters are fantastic. Highly recommend this series. Can't wait for episode 4. Bye.